Standard Gains Podcast, Episode 3, Take 1.
Let's go. As of right now, we have around 29,000 listeners, downloads, viewers with YouTube, Spotify, and everything combined. Thank you so much for the support. And today, we're going to be interviewing the guy in the blue shirt. An insane amount of people asked for this. It was crazy in the comments.
It was.
So we're going to do this. And we're going to start with some dilemmas.
With dilemmas. So the first one for you, just to get into it a bit easy, is never wear a blue shirt again or never work out again.
Ooh.
Only answer, and then we're going to
only answer.
And then we're going to get, after the three, we're going to go into the answers.
I think never wear a blue shirt again. I think that's a clear one.
Ooh, okay. And people know you because, or might know you because, like, the guy in the blue shirt, stuff like that. But also, probably because you're like the crazy skills or crazy attempts of challenges guy.
I'm just basically crazy. That's
Crazy,
it.
crazy. But do you think that it worked, as in the name you built, that worked because you are the guy in the blue shirt, or because you are the crazy challenge guy?
Ooh. Well, I think it's a combination.
No, only answer.
One answer. I think the blue shirt, actually.
Blue shirt.
I think the blue shirt.
Blue shirt.
All right.
Oh.
And then the last one is because in episode 0, you were here and you spoke about your study. And we had a lot of people actually super interested in that. So that's the last thing. So green energy is the future or nuclear energy is the future?
Ooh, that's a really interesting topic.
Now say something. Let's go.
I think I go for green energy.
Green energy.
Green
All right.
energy.
We'll get into it in a second.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
go back to the first one. And as you said, it's probably a clear one. Never wear a blue shirt again or never work out again.
Yeah.
Workout. But maybe tell a bit about, workout in general for you.
Yeah, working out for me is just really important. It's a staple of my life, basically. And wearing a blue shirt is like I can switch to shorts. Maybe I already did that sometimes. So
that's a smart answer, actually. So you don't
Yeah.
you don't even have to get rid of the blue collar.
Exactly,
in
exactly.
That
general.
is true.
Oh, that is actually.
so
He hacked the question.
you hacked the
You
question.
hacked the question.
Yeah, we will patch this in the next in the next one.
episode.
All right, that's a good answer. So for the second one, it worked because of the blue shirt or because of the crazy skills.
I think the crazy skills is just a byproduct, but the being recognizable is just a blue shirt, and I think that's
But
important.
why
to
did
be-
they start recognizing you? Why did they start caring about it?
That's true. It's because of the challenge, the Bring Sleep Up challenge, and that's
Exactly.
actually the challenge. But so it started with the challenge then, and then the
Exactly.
blue shirt.
And what if you were wearing a green shirt then?
Then
People
it-
would have called you the
the
guy, in
green- yeah.
guy in the green shirt,
That's
probably.
true.
So if we're going to be looking at the question a little bit different, so I'm going to hack this one also, then it's a bit of both, because you are the guy in the blue shirt, or it could have been the green shirt, but you really played well with this by literally like going for blue all the time. So
Yeah.
people build, you build basically sort of a brand around it as the guy in the blue shirt. So that's interesting.
So I guess the first one was an easy question. This one was a trick question.
yeah. And the third one,
And the third one, yeah. So I'm super interested in this because,
I'm a big believer in nuclear energy.
Mhm.
So that's but I think green energy for a lot of countries is the main focus, because nuclear has a lot of discussion around it. But for the near future, I think green energy is the best solution, because it's faster. And nuclear energy, that takes a lot of time to build a nuclear power cell or a nuclear power
Base.
plant.
No.
So that takes like 10 years, 15 years to build it. So for the future, I think nuclear energy, but for the near future, green energy is the way
And
to
also
go.
probably because of like the stigma and everything around it. There will be a lot of discussion to actually get it through, to get the challenge there, to actually make those things. So probably
Yeah, but I actually think we need to build nuclear plants pretty soon, because it takes 10 years. So actually,
exactly.
That's true. And maybe just to pivot a bit from this in two questions. So first of all, do you think it is the most important thing we have to do now in terms of the energy transition, CO2 emission, or are there other things that we should really be focusing on first?
well, I think it's both. It's really both, because for the future, the nuclear plants are really important because it's a really stable source of energy, and we really need that, because a lot of green energy, wind energy, solar energy is not stable. It's depending on wind and
Nature.
solar or nature. So to provide a stable energy source for just the basic needs is really important to have nuclear mixed into it. But for now, to get energy now, it's really important we focus a lot on renewables.
On to the next question. What does a standard day look like for you from start to finish?
Start to finish. Well, actually, the Wim Hof method is a really big staple. So when I wake up, first thing I do is I brush my teeth because I really don't like the taste of morning.
The taste of morning.
Yeah, the morning taste. You know that, right? The morning,
I know, yeah.
Yeah, so I really don't like it. So I brush my teeth the first thing. And then after that, I'm going to do the Wim Hof breathing exercises. And I really like that with fresh teeth as well. So doing the breathing exercise.
Everything is fresh, yeah.
Yeah. So doing the breathing exercises. And it takes like 10 minutes. And then I'm perfectly clear. Mind is clear.
Yeah.
And then I step on in a cold shower. And that wakes me up. And I'm ready to go. And basically after that, I'm drinking my coffee.
Put on a blue shirt.
Put on a blue shirt.
shirt.
Yeah, that's actually it's the first thing. Put on a blue shirt.
Also under the shower.
Yeah,
you
under
guys
the
might
shower.
not know that, but he is so dedicated that if
Everywhere.
someone walks into the shower
Yeah.
with a camera, he's wearing a blue shirt.
Only blue shirt.
No pants.
No pants. No, but then I drink my coffee, and I have a routine right now that while I'm drink my coffee, I play chess.
Nice.
And actually, it depends on how long I take with my coffee. If I lose the first match, or if I win, because if I lose, I want to get my revenge, and then maybe 15 minutes go by playing chess and drinking my coffee, and then after that, I eat breakfast, and then actually the day begins for me. And I start studying or go to stand and record and basically
do this.
Then in the evening I work out most of the time, so early in the evening.
So between
After-
it is really like just school, recording, stuff like that. So it is
And I most of the times I have things a bit planned out. So the night before I have a to-do list, like, oh, I want to do this the next day, this the next day.
On your phone?
Yeah,
Or-
on my phone. But not really like, oh, on 12 p.m. I start doing this, or just a basic idea of things I need to do. And then, well, sometimes I work out in the afternoon if I have time. But if I'm here recording, then of course I'm gonna do it in the evening. And then I watch TV in the evening and drink some tea and go to bed.
so
basically.
relax and go to bed.
Yeah,
Nice.
and make the plan for the next day.
I think it's cool how milk and cookies, tea in the evening. We all have like a
Yeah.
warm drink in
I
in our
don't
routine.
really do milk and cookies. It was an example. I don't even like milk.
That's true.
I want to say one little thing, maybe cool for people listening. So I asked on your phone for the to-do list.
Yeah.
A cool little hack is if you actually write it on a piece of paper with your pen, because if you cross it off the list next day, physically do that with your pen, it releases dopamine in your brain, which gives you a reward for completing a task, which prevents procrastination a bit. And that doesn't happen if you remove it or do anything on your phone.
That's a
So,
good tip.
maybe a
Well,
little-
sometimes I write it down on my whiteboard because I have a
That
whiteboard
works,
in my room.
Yeah. And crossing it off, it's also just satisfying. But that's
true.
Satisfying.
Okay, so the real topic is guy in the blue shirt. How did this happen? We briefly discussed it in the dilemmas, but how does this happen?
Well, this happened 4 years ago, I think.
Ooh,
5?
yeah.
How long ago was it? The Brings to the
I think it's 4 years ago. Yeah.
4 years ago, and we did the Brings to the Up challenge, the push-up challenge, and that went pretty great for me.
So the
actually.
push-up
The challenge,
we
is-
did that. That's basically a really hard, challenge where you do push-ups, obviously.
Yeah.
But it is a song. So song by Moby, Sunflower, I think it's called.
What's the official name of the song?
Sunflower, something like
Oh,
that.
is that the name of the song?
Yeah, and it goes like bring Sally up,
Exactly.
bring
Bring
Sally
Sally
down, and then
down.
you go follow with push-ups. If she says like bring Sally up, you go up. If you bring Sally down, you go down. And that song is quite long. It's like 3 minutes something, 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like in total, you do so many push-ups, and it's really hard. And a lot of people can't finish it, obviously, but he did it with ease.
And that was just a good day for me as well, because when I did it after that, I still did it, but
Not
it was
so
hard and
clean.
It,
It
not
was
so easy.
insanely.
Yeah,
It looked like he could do it another time. That's
Yeah.
how it looked like.
So then people started commenting, "Whoa, the guy in the blue shirt in the front, he was doing great." Guy in the-"
killed it.
because they didn't know my name yet. So it was like, "Oh,
It was
guy,
the first time ever on a video. That's sounds video or
Not,
No,
not
not
really,
really.
but the first one where I really did a challenge, right? maybe.
Yeah, I think you followed or you were in some videos and it was like following around with what I was doing, like some random I think maybe this was after, but we also did random videos like doing pull-ups without a pull-up bar, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you weren't wearing a blue shirt there in that video. So you build it up after that.
Yeah. So after that, the blue shirt just stuck with me. It was like people commenting, guy in the blue shirt, guy in the blue shirt. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool if I wear the blue shirt all the time. And that just came and never went.
Exactly. That's the version indeed. That's what happened. And the fun thing is that you wear blue shirts now a lot.
A lot.
But do you have one blue shirt?
One blue shirt?
One blue shirt. Is it one blue shirt?
No, it's multiple blue shirts.
It's a lot.
I have a lot of blue shirts. Yeah, that's when you open my closet, it's blue. It's blue. That's the majority.
Here's a question: did you already have that prior to,
no.
or is it really because of this became
it's
a brand?
really because
That's
of.
really cool.
Yes, he bought it because of that. That's
and also
insane.
got some from you.
All my blue clothing goes to basically to him. If I receive something from a brand, or if I actually ask brands
for a blue shirt
for
cool.
Arjen or a blue short. Wim Hof, we made the Wim Hof documentary. That was a Gymshark blue short, I think it was. So there you go. That was because obviously blue and my color is more red. So I wore a red one, and we really like to focus on the colors. That I think that's working out very well.
I think just for if you are watching the podcast on YouTube, you will see this, that of course Arjen is wearing blue, but every episode you're wearing the same black shirt and I'm wearing the same white shirt, because we want to have this sort of recognizable thing in all the photos that we take in the thumbnails you'll see. So I think the color, it's very cool in terms of marketing. And that's, I think for you, what did this mean for you, the becoming the guy in the blue shirt?
How did it change your life?
Did it change? Well, yeah. How did it affect things?
Actually, that's a really good one, because the blue shirt and the guy in the blue shirt just really is something that's for me, and it's like an identity for me, and that really helps actually, because you have on social media a lot of examples of people doing stuff, and you're searching, like everybody's searching a life goal, or what am I doing, or who am I, and the guy in the blue shirt is something I always can come back to. So that's me, and I'm doing just me, and that's actually really cool. It's a sort of identity, and for you maybe that's Browney, like
it's my
you.
Evil alter ego.
No, but just something that's really you, and just that says something about your identity, and that actually really helps me to do what I want, and not.
It maybe sounds a bit. Well, maybe did it sort of grow you as a person, as in like, sort of where you're going? Because it could give you a clear vision, as in like, oh, right now I am the guy in the blue shirt and people are seeing me like this, which is also the crazy challenge guy.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really...
You found yourself. No, you basically, yeah.
That's really...
But I think the fun part about it is I think you have a super strong brand, and I'm sure we're going to discuss marketing for a second.
Yes.
Your Instagram is growing, and probably if you would post something, your engagement would probably be really good, but you're not really utilizing it yourself, are you?
No, but it was never intended to be a marketing trick. It was just like, people name me that, and let's go with it.
Is there a reason you're not posting on social media? Is that not something you want?
Time, most of, and it's, I maybe I will post a lot more in the future, but I think I need to progress a little bit more in the calisthenics skills. Sounds a bit weird, but I want to throw them around every time. But when I get the chance to do it. But when I work out, most of the times I start with skills, but it's mostly just training the skills, and that's not really interesting to post. And the other thing is that when I do the crazy stuff, most of the times there is already in camera, because it's here.
It's on YouTube.
True. Yeah, it's on YouTube, and or it's a short, or it's so I save it for the YouTube stuff. And besides that, I'm just working out and training, and not so much the fun stuff, because when I do the fun stuff, I'm here and already recording.
And his engagement is actually pretty insane. It is crazy. And the fun thing here, I think, is that you build such a strong person, brand, alter ego, evil person. You created something like a brand marketing without even knowing it or wanting it, which shows just the power of collars in general, like giving something a collar. Yellow. What do you think of which brand?
Yellow. Which brand? McDonald's?
Yeah, exactly. And
Exactly.
Was that the right answer?
everyone you ask the question will say that because they're so good at, having that color associated with
Yeah.
them, and it's very funny, and it's super strong. And I think you've done the same. But actually, Stan, I also have a question for you because I asked, what did it mean for you? What did it mean for Browney? Because I think it has some impact as well.
Definitely, because the power of the color that he is, like the guy in the blue
color
shirt,
that he is.
the
I
color
am the
that
color.
yeah, he is. Well, if you think of blue on the channel, at least, or people who know, I think in general, if you would ask someone that has watched the channel and knows about the guy in the blue shirt, you ask like, what do you think of yellow McDonald's? What do you think of blue? They will say the guy in the blue shirt. Obviously, it's also in the name, so that helps. But for the channel, it means that I created, or I didn't even create it. But there is something on the channel that the guy in the blue shirt is a big persona. So if I would make a video around him or with him, or that could boost the video in general. So if it would be the wackest video I've ever made, but I put the guy in the blue shirt together with me in the thumbnail and say we're throwing rocks in the water, people would watch it because you're in there and I'm in there. But your brand is as a person is just as strong, if not even stronger, on my channel than me, because there is like the sidekick or something that is not always there. Because I'm uploading a video right now, for example, you're not in there, so there's also a bit of scarcity. You're not in every single video, and if you're in there, you could be watching that because of you.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I think we also notice this in our Discord group. People have been asking, because you are not yet in our Discord server, which we'll make sure you'll get in there as well. But a lot of people are asking, hey, is the guy in the blue shirt in here? Is the guy in the blue shirt in here? We did a questionnaire on our Instagram a few days ago, like ask Stan, or Bob a question, and 20-30% was for the guy in the blue shirt, even though we said it wasn't there. So I
feel flattered.
yeah, but I think it's super strong, and it helps Browney brand, and for you, I mean, having such a strong brand, whether or not you're going to do something with it in the future, is just going to be super powerful.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And it is also obviously a combination of you being the guy in the blue shirt and making videos with me, and then or you're in the videos and you're so somewhat the untouchable. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, people want you to be there in the video, but you're not giving a lot of yourself to the world. You're not saying I'm doing this. That's also why this podcast.
Yeah.
People want to know more about you.
Sort of a mystery behind the guy in the blue shirt.
Exactly.
So let's solve that mystery.
And that's what we're doing right now, actually. But we don't want to give away too much, because if the mystery is gone, then
that's true.
That
was my worry as well with this podcast.
then everything is like, oh, we know so much about him.
Now he's
not
just a person and not the guy in the blue shirt.
He's
the
not
mystery,
interesting anymore.
But I do think it's interesting to know a bit more about you.
That's true.
So you mentioned about chess, that's a big part of you.
Well,
is
a
it?
big part? Well, actually, it's not really, because I'm not that good. But since last month, I play chess a lot, but more as a fun or hobby thing, and I like that. Yeah, I want to. That's the thing about me. If I find something that I really find interesting, then I want to become better at it. And
I think because we asked the why are you not posting? I want to get better at skills first. Although I think you can do more than 99.9% of the people who would post. Chess, I want to get better. Would you say, well, one, are you very competitive, and two, are you a perfectionist?
Perfectionist, no, but competitive, yes.
Okay.
And not really with between people, but more with myself. I want to become better and at things, and if I don't see progress, then I'm like, why am I doing it?
No, Arjen wants to win, and if you're beating him, he will eat you alive. That's it.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so no, I think that also what you said about chess, and just, I think people would definitely find it interesting if you show just progress, or just show you playing chess, even like stuff like that. And why would they find that interesting? Because you are the guy in the blue shirt.
Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, a fun fact is the last week when I played chess, my name is the guy in blue shirt in chess, the chess app,
on the online app.
App, yeah. And I was playing chess, and I was in the end game of chess. Really was a pretty good game. And then all of a sudden, I get a chat message. Wait, guy in the blue shirt, Arjen? Are you Arjen? And I was like, huh? So actually, he knew me from the channel, so it was pretty funny.
That's
And I
sick.
lost, by the way.
That's sick.
I lost the match, so,
So-
that was a pity. But
And also that is literally people could be saying, "Yo, I won from the guy in the blue shirt." Again, it is, and
Yeah.
you would not say that about someone random on like if you won from Magnus Carlsen, probably not the one of the best chess players, then you would say that, right?
yeah.
But it's not like people know you're an insane great chess player, or
No,
maybe
but to give an example, MrBeast actually is in the app. Like you can play a bot who is MrBeast,
Oh,
based
yeah.
around MrBeast.
Yeah.
Because MrBeast has done chess stuff. He's not really that good, but
No, I found that as well online.
Yeah.
That because he built his
Yeah.
brand obviously as well with MrBeast, like the big money prizes and just being MrBeast, same as I am Browney. But you are basically I'm not too sure if people are familiar with MrBeast, but he also has a lot of sidekicks, or actually two main sidekicks. And these guys also built their own brands, and they do basically what Arjen does, exactly what Arjen does, and that is just having your Instagram post sometimes, but really insane engagement, and people find them super interesting because they're not giving too much away from themselves. They actually also never do interviews. Not sure if that is intentional, but that is to keep the mystery around it. But I think you're not going to know everything about Arjen in 1 hour. So the mystery will probably still be there. But that is the power of also sidekicks for MrBeast himself and for them, because they are growing together. So
and in which way are they recognizable? So they don't really have a collar or something.
Chandler is, for example, the really stupid guy, the funny stupid one.
So it doesn't need to be a collar or
Collar, but the collar would definitely work.
I think a color makes it easier to refer to
Yes.
someone, for
Yes.
sure. But I think as long as you have something that makes you stand out, something that is just recognizable and you do every single time, then it works in terms of a brand.
maybe another example of this is what is really popular right now is having a really strong accent. For example, the Russian guy with the challenges.
This is
the-
an insanely
the
good one.
Igor
Next
with the
workout.
next workout. He has a really strong Russian accent, and people actually like that because
People are
it's recognizable.
subscribing so fast to him,
Yeah.
like a normal.
But because of his accent,
Because that is recognizable. His videos
Yeah,
are
that is true.
are pretty good. Like next
Same
workout,
applies with Mike Shake.
Mike Shake as well.
the
He's
Italian
an
guy.
Italian guy. Let's go back to the next workout guy. He as a channel has just good workout videos, but I would say his videos are not like insanely high quality extreme, because he's also uploading quite a lot, so you can't even keep that up. But because he is who he is, has a good physique, and he is just has a really strong accent, like the Russian guy. People
Yeah.
wanna have him as a trainer for just because of that for some reason.
and when they talk about him, it's like, oh, that's the Russian guy with the push-ups and the challenges. It's like recognizable as well.
This is a really good example, and Mike Shake as well. Mike Shake is he learns a lot. He likes a lot of stuff every single week, something new, and he is growing like crazy, like the fastest that I've seen.
and I think if we just take this to businesses for a second, it's not just the color sometimes, but it's always, I think the really good brands have something that is super recognizable. For example, if you look at Apple, there's a few things. First of all, a few years ago, what they did is they did sort of the first real influencer marketing, and all the celebrities were sent the headphones, the ears, which were white. So if you saw someone walking on the street with like white little earphones in, still with the
Yes.
cords
No,
back then,
it's-
it was, oh wow, that's Apple. And Apple is actually, their slogan on the wall is, I don't know the exact thing, but it's about we want to disrupt the industry and make it super user friendly. And when you think about Apple, yes, they solve the issue for you, and it's always easy. Everything integrates.
True.
And that's what they do, and that's their why, sort of. So it goes back to the why, it goes back to being recognizable. And I think building a brand, whatever you do, it has to be, there has to be something that just sticks out.
And maybe, I'm not sure if we can conclude that, but the more you have of these pieces, so the more, like, let's say you have collar, you have name, also something about your name that is very recognizable, or just a funny word. But you also have quality of something, and you also have an accent, or for a brand, it could be actually a celebrity.
For sure.
So if you go to Beats, also Apple now, part of Apple, then you see that their marketing at first, the quality of the headphones were nothing special. Actually, they were made for $20 and sold for $200. And
And that's the power of branding, because you can actually sell them.
All they
such
did
margin.
is they branded them with all these insanely famous influencers or celebrities, everything, mainly celebrities there, like Lil Wayne and stuff like that. Rihanna, I think, as well. And they gave them also their custom ones, so with diamonds and stuff in there. So what they did is they promoted the brand for them, because they got like a $10,000 headphone with the Beats logo on there, and people were like, "Oh damn! Well, I'm not gonna pay $10K, but I'm gonna pay like $200 because he's wearing it as well." And they were also, I think, marketing with insane like bass and
True.
stuff like that, but that wasn't insane. Like the quality was not special, but
Yeah.
it was about the name that they built around the brand. So that is
And just linking the person, the celebrity, to the brand. That's really
Exactly.
important, because then you associate the cool Rihanna with Beats. And then it's like, oh, that's cool. I want to beat.
I think this illustrates a super cool concept in marketing and in sales in general. You can decide what you want to do. So you can either compete by price. So I'm just going to be the cheapest out there, which means your margins are really low. And as soon as someone else comes in, which is,
Lower.
basically a bit lower, they will run away from you and go to the other person. Or you can really build a brand
yes.
and ask a premium, because let's go back to the Apple example. Their iPhones they're pretty expensive.
pretty
And
expensive.
I wouldn't say that they're necessarily much better than phones which are half the price. However, people are such a fan of the brand that they're willing to pay the extra price, and they want to be seen using an iPhone. So you can either go for the quantity or the quality, or for the brand. And I think that's also what happened with you guys, for sure. Going back to that topic, is people want to see that. And maybe there's a guy doing sicker tricks than you are, but still they want to watch you because you're the guy in the blue shirt, and they want to watch you in the
And
thing.
that is exactly the case, because there are people, lots of people that are doing crazier stuff out there, especially in the workout world.
The calisthenics
The
world.
calisthenics world.
That's a big-
But why are they not watching them? Well, they're watching them because they're like doing something crazy. But we together built something. A
brand.
A brand, Browney, which is known for its quality, for the guy in the blue shirt, fun stuff, and lots of other stuff. Maybe also the accent a little bit. I don't know. It's all together, and that's they would rather watch that because they know that, and they know also what they expect, and they just like it as a brand rather than a random video of a guy who's better probably. But like that's interesting.
Yeah, and the people who do the crazy stuff most of the times are really busy with doing the
as well.
the stuff they do, the really hard stuff, and then it's a bit, it's not so personal anymore because you don't really see the person, and that
The work,
the
everything
work,
behind it. But that's also an example of, again, marketing. So
Marketing.
I like this is a lot of good info and a lot of good examples of branding.
Branding is super powerful. I think, because we don't want to give the mystery away too much, but it is nice to know a bit more about Arjen. So not the guy in the blue shirt. So we know about chess and workout. We told a bit about your study.
And that's about it.
That's about it. Well, maybe you can tell us a bit more about you.
Well, that's a really broad question, but
That's true.
well, I play badminton as well. Maybe some people know that already. Well, right now with the situation, not so much. This is actually the longest time I've not played badminton.
Have you done it all your life, or since you were a
Yeah,
kid?
since I was 7,
Cool.
7 years old,
And-
and that's basically how the calisthenics journey also. Okay, maybe I just tell the story of how calisthenics came into the
I think that's cool.
existence for me. Well, I started with badminton when I was 7, and then when I was 13, 14, I became really motivated in badminton. I wanted to be really good at it, and I was considering to go to a different club, which played on higher levels, and maybe have some better sparring partners to become really good. And then when I was 15, I got injured. I had Osgood-Schletter. It's a knee injury when you grow really fast and train a lot. And then I was like, okay, I still did play badminton, but with a lot of pain. And I was like, I need to do something else to keep me busy. And then I came across a video of a calisthenics guy, Corey Hall. He's, I don't know, is he popular? Was he popular?
I don't think a lot of people might know him. I mean,
No.
we know him quite a lot because that's how we started. Like Frank Medrano,
Yeah.
he's still quite big.
Frank Medrano as well.
But
I saw that and was like, I want to do that. That's cool. And it's mostly upper body. So it's like my knees get rest. So I can do just calisthenics. So I bought a pull-up bar. My father hung it on the wall. And that's basically how it started, and learning some skills. And then 1 year went by, and Stan
I joined. Yeah, I
he
basically
me,
joined.
And we did it on a regular basis 2 times a week.
Maybe
was
that's
just-
an
I think-
interesting. How did you guys meet?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, we know each other since elementary school, actually.
Yeah.
and we weren't we were not really friends back then. Well, we didn't dislike each other, but
He was running way in front of me. He was just running way in front of me.
Yeah, and
I was
then-
fat, and he was.
Oh,
he was
no.
just running.
So yeah, we went to the same high school, and then second grade we became friends and started to work out together. And
I was doing YouTube,
he was doing YouTube
and you sometimes joined. Like
for the
we
sketches.
Yeah, we made some random sketches.
That are the best videos, by the way. Do not watch them.
They're not.
Still online on Browney.
Some maybe don't
Okay.
watch it.
watch
Okay.
it.
Go there, scroll down, watch it.
Yes. But yeah, we basically
And-
re-met there.
Yeah.
Re-met.
And I
There
want
you
to say
go.
something, because the calisthenics back then, what we did, that was the purest form of calisthenics for me.
Yeah.
That was just going to a playground and the whole afternoon just work out, just train, not knowing what to do, but just trying out stuff, trying out to learn a muscle
Lots
up,
of push-ups.
lots of crazy explosive push-ups, the freestyle push-ups.
That's what we did.
And that was just the
that
best
was fun.
time, actually. I was
Yeah, that
really
was
happy
fun.
back then. It was really fun.
I'm not sure. Maybe I'm asking a stupid question here, but I remember that you were in one of his videos much later. Like, oh, he's back. Was
Yes,
it like a
that's
long
true.
gap
Well,
between?
then the story continues, because
Okay.
I started to do calisthenics, and my knee injury became better. So badminton became more prominent for me, and I again wanted to become really good at badminton. So I focused on badminton more, and calisthenics became sort of on
Because
the background.
he's not saying it, but you gotta understand that it's like badminton at a really high level, or just calisthenics on the side. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is. So
That's-
are you going for something that you can grow in and you're already really good at, and just becoming really, really good, like highest level of the Netherlands, or just calisthenics on the side? That's
Yeah,
basically
that
how you
was
looked at
the-
it, and that's what it was. Calisthenics was probably your like.
I really loved it.
Yeah, you loved it.
But that's the thing with me. I when I find something that I really enjoy, then I want to go all in and want to become really good at it. And for me, it was always a choice, and it was always a struggle for me, because I like both. I like a lot of sports, so that's always a struggle for me, because it's sometimes hard to combine the stuff, because I felt that the soreness of the working out really didn't help with the badminton.
It's
Because,
like how often did you train there?
well, there were times 7 times a week and sometimes 2 times a day, actually. So it was really intense.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
And
Then,
I think the cool thing here is something that we discussed in previous episodes as well, is that if you really want to become the best at something, you have to focus on one thing. And that's in business, that's in sport, that's in everything. And I think it's
So
really
true.
good that you said, I really focused on one thing. And how I said in the episode, which was about me, like, I know I should be doing it, but I'm just like you. I like so many things and I just do too many things.
and badminton and calisthenics could definitely go together.
Sure.
Calisthenics could
Yeah.
complement badminton as well, but not at a high level. Like you're
No.
gonna play badminton at a high level, and calisthenics like just a few like pull-ups, push-ups to build your physique, get
Yeah.
like stronger in that point. But you're not gonna be able to throw full planches or
Nope.
insane muscle variation. It's just like maintaining or building your
Yeah.
physique, keeping your physique strong for. Badminton, really badminton focus,
Yeah.
which makes sense because that's what you're and really good at, and you're that's what you're building towards. So it's like compliments, but it's not really.
And then to get further in the story, then for a year I focused a lot on badminton, and I was not really involved with YouTube anymore. Well, sometimes, but it was really on the background. And then just badminton was my thing, and then I wanted to start calisthenics again because I loved it so much. And badminton was it's really frustrating to have a sport you want to become really good, but there are so many variables, because you can play well, but if the person you're playing against is just better, or it's just
Yeah.
With calisthenics it's all you, or with running it's just
You're
you.
building on yourself, yeah.
But with a game like badminton, there are so many variables. You can become really fit and really physical prepared, but when mentally it doesn't click that
Yeah,
day,
especially in the
then it's-
Netherlands, I think. Badminton in general, and maybe not in Asia because there it's really big, right?
Yeah,
There's
true.
really big, but in
Yeah.
the Netherlands, like badminton, it's a big sport, but it's not extremely
No,
big or not
it's-
really competitive. You can't make like earn your bread there.
That's also true.
make that bread.
Make that bread. But the thing was that calisthenics just I saw it online and was like, yeah, I really love calisthenics, so I wanted to start again, and then I wanted to get back to the old skills, so the back lever, and then I tried the back lever on the rings at home. That went great. I was thinking, oh, I still have the strength because I
That was sick.
still was fit off the badminton. Then I went to Sten, did a back lever, and my shoulder dislocated, and then that set me back for months.
6 months.
6 months.
So he made his comeback, and that lasts about like 10 minutes, and then
exactly
after that you did really come back.
Yeah, I did really come back. So actually, when I started at 15, I did it 2 years.
Then you had like a
year off, and a year and a half.
And then
got back into it.
We made like a transformation series already, sort of 90-day transformation series.
Sort of.
It looked different, but 90-day transformation for Arjen.
Yeah, and now I'm doing both, and badminton is still going really well. I play second division, so that's 2 divisions of the highest level actually. And I'm trying to just combine it, and I'm accepting that I won't become the best badminton player ever, and I accept that I won't become the best calisthenics athlete, but I'm perfectly happy with it.
But
and
the best
I like
guy in the blue shirt ever.
And that's where the blue shirt is coming. Just be you, exactly. That's it.
That's cool. I mean, I think that's really cool to know a bit more about your backstory, and I think in everything that you say is that competitiveness comes back. And I think that's also interesting because I would like to talk a bit about your study as well, because I think that's super interesting and it is super important. Would you say there is a big passion for you as well?
Yeah, a really big passion.
So why did you choose this? Maybe tell a bit about it was Future Planet Studies, right?
Yeah.
And tell a bit about maybe why you choose it and a bit about the studies.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to talk about how I came to the study and how I choose the study and why I chose to study. Well, I started after high school with psychology, and that was because it was really interesting for me. That was me. Psychology, that was me. And my goal was to become a scientist within psychology. And the first year went by, really interesting. But I was like, I have had all the courses, all the subjects, and I'm like, I don't see myself doing it for really a long time. So I think it's interesting, but I see myself not doing...
End goal.
Yeah, no end goal, no future prospect. And then the second year came, and I needed to choose the specialization courses and really focus on a job or working towards a job. And in psychology, that's really hard. With a psychology degree, it's not guaranteed you because there are just a lot of psychology students. And then another passion grow or an interest grow, and it was in the world problems basically, so climate change. And I was like, there's a lot of work in that area that needs to be done. And within psychology, I was always interested in making the normal brain better, so optimizing the normal brain, and not so much in the mental ailment area. And psychology is focused a lot on the mental ailment, and that's great. That's not disrespecting.
It's very important.
It's very important. But I was just more interested in making the 7s and 8, and not so much in the 4s, the 5, 6. And then that actually changed completely, because now I'm studying future planet studies, because I was just really interested in those problems. And now I'm more focusing and realizing that to become better as a whole, as a humankind, basically, we need to focus on the force, because that has a lot more value. So focus more on the vulnerable groups and making that just better, basically. So that's how I came to future planet studies.
I think that's super interesting.
Yeah, that's and is that like you're liking it so far?
Yeah, I really enjoy it, and I don't know exactly what I want to do after I'm done with studying, but it's just something I really like at the moment, and I see myself liking it for a long time. So I think it's really important to have an interest or a goal that you can see yourself doing for a long time.
For sure.
Yeah,
and that's actually basically with everything that mindset, because when I make my own workouts or workout programs, then I'm like, can I do this for a long time? If the answer is no, then it's crap and I throw it away. But if I can say, yes, I can do this for a long time, then it's basically
talking about what you said, I want to like work towards something, or like in the future, I'm not too sure, but I do remember what you said to me, and that is that you maybe very bold, but save the world, or at least that means something to the world.
Yeah, that's really important for me.
Yeah, exactly. And in what way would you like to do that? And also, did something change there in ways of how you look at that?
Well, actually, you have a sort of formula, and that's just the amount of impact or the size of the impact you have on the world is a combination of the amount of people it gets to, or the amount of people that are involved, and the big of the just the size of the change you make. For example, making a cup is not really a super big change, but it involves a lot of people, so the impact is really big. But for example, the other thing then, mental ailment, the impact is really big because you can provide a lot of value to people who have a mental ailment, but the amount of people is a lot less. So there's a sort of function, and what I'm doing right now with YouTube actually involves a lot of people. Maybe the impact is small, but because of the people, the impact is still pretty big.
Because if we make an epic video like with Wim Hof that we made, and also talking about like mental ailment, mental illnesses, then well, the impact is big, and it's also an insane amount of people. So that's a really effective, that's a perfect video.
Yeah.
But another video, a random challenge video, something like that, you could still say that gets people moving. That gets people off their couches and be like, yo, I'm gonna try this challenge, or yo, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna work out, and I'm gonna get better. And that's actually what's happening every single day by the thousands of people that are watching videos that we made.
Yeah.
And I think if you look going back to that Discord group, we actually I sent you a screenshot at some point of people saying, I'm so happy that I found the channel and that it really changed my life. Or the podcast, it started, changing my life. It started working out, living much healthier. Another really cool thing, I think, is this is a topic which has come back every single episode so far, is the reason why you're now super motivated is because you found a why. And the why is I want to change the world. And before that, maybe it was like, oh, I'm super interested in psychology. I think it's cool, but I don't really feel like helping people. So you didn't have that why there. But now you found a why, I think. But I don't want to put words in your mouth. And then all of a sudden, you're super motivated. I want to see how I can really make an impact. And I think that's super cool.
Actually, that's exactly it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because I think, I'm going to put words in your mouth also.
But it's actually true. That's
because of psychology. What you told me was that like a lot of people have that as well with psychology. It's like it's really interesting because I want to know how people think, why they do stuff, everything. But there is not really like it's an interest for you, which could be a why, but it's not really that strong of a why because at some point you have the knowledge. But if you want to have the knowledge for a reason, for a why, then you.
And that's what I have right now. I want to have the knowledge for a why because there are such complex problems with a lot of sides of different stories. So it's really important to know what you're talking about. And that's why I'm doing the study. And I don't know yet if I'm going to do something with it because right now with the YouTube, it's going great. And again, with YouTube, it's something I really enjoy and see myself doing for a really long time. So again, that team comes back. And maybe there's a crossover there. Maybe I can combine both. Well, exactly with the Made Blue stuff. So we
can grow towards everything. You can grow towards everything, and I think we can, especially if you look at MrBeast and you look at his 3 sort of sidekicks that he has. I do think like the guy in blue shirt on itself is a better sidekick because of the color blue. Well, in general, what we just discussed, but they together grow the channel also like crazy. Yes, MrBeast is MrBeast as a person, and he is the one who gets like the interviews or the which also makes sense because he started like 8 years ago or 10 years ago and he grew it. But they are part of the videos which also have a lot of impact, and they also on itself they don't really have channels, or they do have social media, but they do a lot of work inside the company MrBeast, which is insanely important for the entire channel. So that is something without them they could not do it without each other. So I think that's an interesting work together.
I think for you it would be the same. You are, it's Browney, it's your channel, but the guy in the blue shirt is very important. I think Browney Jr. is also very important. People are like, because we had a lot of questions for him as well in the Instagram poll. So it just complements each other, and it doesn't mean that it is about them, but it just makes the brand so much stronger. But still, it's your brand, right?
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
the same thing.
But I would say that can I make Browney work alone? Yes. Would it be a lot less optimal? Definitely. And would Arjen be the guy in blue shirt without me? I'm not too sure, but you could build your brand around it right now. But without that video, it would not have popped. But you could do it alone right now there. Would it be optimal? Also, definitely not. So
Because it works.
it
together.
works together. So there is a sort of nuance to the branding, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need you do not need someone else. But I think if you find the right combination, which we did, then it is just a one big dub. One big win.
W.
That's what Browney Jr. always says. Big dub. So I thought there's my my ode to.
Yeah, there's so many things I would like to still ask you, but I do think that we have to stick a bit to the topic. There's one thing that you said earlier, which I just want to discuss, and that is where you said with psychology, you were more interested in going from the 7 to the 8. So basically you were, and that reminds me of one of the things that we want this podcast in general to be about as well, which is productivity gains and sort of peak performance. Because if you're looking about a 7 to 8, I'm sure that there's things that you've learned in there. Are there any like nuggets or a bit of value that you think this is, if you're doing okay, but this is like really cool to do to go to that next level?
Well, the big thing that stuck with me for what I've learned from psychology is that knowing why people do things and knowing that it's not always a conscious decision, and knowing the influence the environment has on people, and just accepting that and basically just knowing that really helps with understanding why things happen and why there are some people that do crazy stuff, and because it really explains a lot for me when I see people do weird stuff, or just decisions where you're like, why would they do that? And just realizing that there's a lot that goes into people, I think that is really important, and how maybe you can translate that to a individual level. In a way, can you help me how you can translate that to peak performance maybe? But
yeah, so I think if you look at peak performance, and that's cool that you mentioned environment, number one thing if you want to improve is fixing your environment.
Oh, true. Exactly. Yeah.
And
That's
it's
a perfect example.
normally what they say is it's environment, biology, mindset. Environment is the most important. And I think the easiest way to explain this is if I want to become healthier and maybe lose weight, I can either not grab the chocolate from the fridge,
or not
so
have
that's
it in the
mindset,
first place.
or not have it in the fridge in the first place.
Yeah.
So if I fix my environment, you guys build this studio, I'm sure you're more productive when you work here than you were working from your.
It's optimized, yeah.
Because the environment is better. There's no distractions. So I know that I will sleep better if I don't eat chocolate. So that's the biology. And just by fixing my environment, I will sleep better. I will get my goals, and then I don't have to spend mental energy. So I think that's why it's cool that you said that.
And a big environment change, which would be a more drastic one, is changing who you basically work with.
Yeah,
100%. They say you're the average of the 5 people closest around you.
Exactly.
And I think it's pretty true. And I think that's just the cool thing about knowing about peak performance. And especially if you look at it from a psychological point of view. And what you said really strikes that, I think, where it's interesting to see, hey, someone does something a bit weird, but then, but let's have a look at why he does that. And I think that's super interesting.
Yeah.
To look at.
Yeah. Sure. That's
okay. So I think I want to go into a few random things that people might want to know about you, or definitely want to know about you, because those were part of the questions. So you are vegan, right?
True.
For how long?
1.5 years.
Okay, cool. So that's the thing people might not know.
True.
Was that related to the decision of the study?
Definitely. That was
study.
related. Because I was vegetarian since I was 16, and that was just basically climate change was the biggest one.
The biggest why.
The biggest why for me. And then the other things around it came. But that was definitely one of the drivers for the study.
It's not a decision of going vegan because of the study, but it's more like also the interest in the study because of you were already vegetarian, vegan.
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting. Good question. People might want to know, what is your height?
My height. I'm 1 meter and 75 centimeters.
That is actually one of the most asked questions.
It is. And weight as well.
Weight. What do you weigh?
70
kilos. There you go.
If you don't know what that is, if you're American,
155 pounds.
155 pounds?
Yeah, I know that because MMA.
MMA. Oh, you see that on the board.
Exactly.
Score like the introduction.
Yep.
So that's another sort of interest.
Yeah.
MMA.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, Arjen definitely lost his MMA.
Yep.
He always shows these disgusting clips.
Sorry.
Okay, so is there something you might want to know about Arjen?
Well, what I'm interested in is, and that's also a question we ask more often in the podcast, is what do you think, and let's relate this maybe to your study, what do you think is the next big thing in terms of environment, in terms of...
The next big thing, hydrogen, maybe.
Yeah. We were preparing the dilemmas, and I first wrote down like green energy or hydrogen, but I thought hydrogen is a bit...
It's linked to
it's sort of
renewables
linked.
because and especially for the Netherlands, because we can have a lot of wind energy on sea, and just from wind energy we can make hydrogen, and hydrogen is the perfect source for storing energy. So, and as well, we have a lot of gas. We have a lot of pipelines, and we are really, as Netherlands, pioneers when it comes to gas, because we have, of course, the biggest bubble of gas, well, probably one of the biggest bubbles of gas in the Netherlands. So we have a great pipeline system, and we don't really need to change a lot in that pipeline system to let hydrogen go through it, and we can warm houses on hydrogen. So it's really interesting option for the Netherlands. So I think hydrogen is a big one.
Okay.
That's
So
cool.
that is indeed more like study related.
Yep.
That's an interesting one. And also next big thing in general, like maybe social media platform. Any thoughts? What do you think is
Maybe
big?
this year the guy in the blue shirt will start his Instagram a little bit more.
That will be the
and
next
then
big
That's
thing.
got to be a big
That's
thing
gotta
for
be
sure.
the next big thing.
Cool. Tell us one thing that probably no one knows about you who's watching right now, which is interesting.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh,
maybe.
Oh, that's
Probably
a, good
a lot
one.
of people
Ooh,
will
that's
actually
a really good
wonder.
one.
Wonder.
Right?
I actually
And
think
actually, the same mindset again applies to my relationships, because I see a future in it, and that's really But that's a big thing. I notice a lot of people have a relationship
because of the relationship.
because of the relationship, and not really because they want to be with that person forever.
Oh,
and for
maybe
me,
I
it's
should
that
start looking at it like that. Oh, she's not in the room.
She's not there. Right. And as our last question, what is your superpower?
As always.
As always.
That's can I say push-ups? No. No, I think it's having the ability to get excited about new things. So if someone is really enthusiastic about something, then I'm pretty open-minded and pretty like, whoa, no, that's new and that's cool. And maybe that's a superpower because that opens a lot of opportunities for me. So when you get really excited about new stuff, you learn new things. And
if you look at
keep
it like
learning.
that, it definitely is. If you look at it in a way like, oh, I'm doing things all over the place and I'm doing everything, then that could also be, it could also be not like a great thing.
It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
Sword, maybe.
That's true.
and push-ups.
And push-ups.
And push-ups.
And push-ups.
All right, I would say that's actually it is really a good superpower
It
to
is.
be very open-minded. So definitely. And on that note,
That's it.
that's the end of the episode. So we want to thank you for watching. We have show notes, description with everything in there. We also have Patreon right now. We're working on that, so you can support the podcast and also have extra content there.
And we had some people asking, can you actually meet you guys or speak with you guys? Yes, you can. In the Patreon group, we actually go live if you go to the top group on every Sunday.
Yes, make sure to check it out. And there's lots of value, especially in the extra content that we're going to record right now with Arjen as well. There are also a lot of other extra content videos in there as well. Actually, just extended podcasts with a lot of value. And we also have an entire tour of the podcast in there as well, like how this looks like from behind the scenes and who's working on it. So make sure to check that out, and we'll see you there.
See you there.
Smash the League.
Nice.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.